So I've been drawing digitally for a while. My strongest area is definitely my line art, and that's just what I'm most comfortable doing. For the last few years, I've definitely just been uh, using lines to draw my backgrounds and characters, but I still want to learn how to paint. And so that made me question, how do I combine them both into like one piece? How do I utilize line art and painting to create something that I really enjoy and that I really like? So my love for line art really came from reading comics and animation, um, cartoons like Avatar: The Last Airbender, and like anime like Naruto and Dragon Ball. Um, Utilize line work and line art to draw their characters. And while reading the comics and reading my favorite stories and characters, that's something I wanted to emulate in my style. And so drawing lines is definitely faster than painting. It would definitely take me a lot longer to paint one of my characters than to just draw them with line art. But at the same time, I think I can use the skills of painting and my skills in line art drawing to create something that I would really like. I think for me, drawing digitally, it's definitely a lot more accessible to do line art and do painting. And so for line art, I really, for this piece specifically, I really enjoyed creating this drawing with this more textured line brush. It felt to me more like a traditional drawing method than it did digital, and I just like the way it looks. I like the way it kind of has this energy of a sketch, but finished line work, and that's what I really enjoy from like line art. And so moving forward, I definitely want to learn how to paint and learn how to specifically paint backgrounds and apply that to character drawings. And so in this piece, I just did a simple background of Pumari in a forest. Maybe it wasn't too crazy of a background for me. I did get reference for it, and that's one thing I do need to learn how to do, is just improve my skills in painting so that I can combine the two. I can combine line art and I can combine painting. And one thing I've noticed from this drawing that makes it feel a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more energetic is just that I tend to color my line art with a cell shading technique. While if I'm doing painting, I had to think of the light and the shadow differently. I had to think of it in shapes and forms and values instead of expressing values, shapes, and stuff using lines. And that's definitely one difference I found between painting and line art that I still have to get my head around. Is painting is, like I said, using colors to define value, while line art and drawing is using just lines. And that's fun too, because even in this drawing, I was using hatching and cross hatching to express shadows. And while on the other hand, in my background, I was using the colors to really just make a simplified forest background. And one thing I definitely want to get better at is just learning how to paint more efficiently. When I started drawing, even though I had reference, I didn't really know where to start. I didn't know if I should start with the light value or the dark value in this piece. In the beginning of this one, I started with the dark area and just moved my way forward. So I started in the background and moved to like the foreground of the painting, if that makes sense. But I didn't really understand what I was doing throughout that process. For my line art, I understand what I have to do. I draw my sketch, then I refine that sketch, and then I do lines over it. But for the painting, it's like, okay, I'm gonna put a color down. Hopefully it works, and move on from there. Add my lights and my shadows to that. And so to improve my painting skills, I definitely want to read books on painting, try and do it on a traditional canvas with traditional paints. I think that's a good way to explore painting. And also just study by watching videos and kind of implementing that into my own processes, because I definitely want to get better at drawing backgrounds, not just drawing, but painting backgrounds, and just getting my head around learning how to paint using colors and shapes. Because I'm just so used to making illustrations, making artwork with lines, that it's kind of hard for me to think of creating an illustration as a painter. So that's what I want to improve on. I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I tried this method out of combining painting and line art together, because it was a lot of fun to do. And digital art makes it so accessible to do that. You have a bunch of different brushes you can try out. You have a bunch of different colors that you have on the color wheel, and it just makes it super easy to apply what you learned right then and there without having to go to an art store and buying supplies and stuff like that. So yeah, this drawing of my character Pumari was a good experiment. I really liked how it turned out. Definitely want to keep doing this, keep experimenting with this, and just studying how I can get better at implementing or combining painting and line work together. I think one of my favorite artists that does this is Tony Valente, the creator of Radiant. A lot of his artwork, you can tell he paints, and he has a good understanding of painting and line work. And you can see that he draws his characters first, or he just draws his characters using line art and maybe a cel shaded look, and then he paints the backgrounds. And that's something I really enjoy looking at, and something I want to implement in my own work. And so I'm really happy with how this came out. I definitely want to get better at drawing light and shadow, because even though I painted this piece, I still think I was thinking of it in a cel shaded fashion, cel shaded look. And so I can still see that in this illustration here. But either way, I'm just happy how it came out, because the only way you can really improve at drawing and creating an art and doing painting is by painting, by drawing, and by learning through every piece that you make. So I'm happy that I did this. It didn't take me that long to create either, because I was thinking of it in a cel shaded way. So I think I wasn't really too bothered to render it too much. Maybe in the future I'll render and paint things in more detail, but I was happy with how this came out. So I was just like, I'm just gonna leave it like this. I think in total this piece took me like 5 hours, maybe 6. But from the sketch to the line art to the painting process of the background and on my character's clothing and skin, hair and stuff, I found it very fun to do, and definitely want to keep doing this and keep improving in my painting skills, and get better at combining painting and line art together. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.